Hello, my darlings, and welcome back.
This month, I'll let the energy help me to prioritize my projects and goals so that I don't have to work so damn hard to figure it all out. Welcome to Moonlit Magic. We're going to unlock each of the major moon phases as we move through this. Meet me back here every week to freshen up the energy and remind ourselves what our intentions for this month are all about. This breaks down into 4 installments.
This is my altar cloth, the one that I designed that I keep talking about, how it works, what it's for, and to use it myself. And so you can see that the cards actually fit right on the little spots. It's laid out here. So if you don't know what you're doing with your deck of cards, this is like an introduction to doing your own oracle reading. So that's why it's fun. Follow along at home, pick yours up in my magic self-care shop.
We'll take a moment. If you have an intention for the month, let's pause if we need to and set it now.
The self-care of this season in particular is going to carry a Libra energy through it, which is diplomatic, gracious, harmonious, and seeks balance in life, and especially in relationships. This is an air energy. It's going to be fluid, quicker moving. It's a changeable energy, but that said, it's a very more soft and sweet type of energy as it flows in. Think of like a fragrance in the air, a sweet fragrance, or something that is baking in someone's kitchen that you can smell from your own doorstep. That's the sort of sweetness that we're considering. That's what's going to be flowing through all 4 of our messages for this month. Know you are loved. That's the energy that we're pulling through the theme of the week for the new moon in Libra. And our very first message, overall message for this particular moon phase: am I clear on what my soul really wants? All things work best in conjunction with all things. Isn't that super interesting? So isn't that the ultimate form of balance? We're considering the energy of this month, this season, and this is what basically kicks it off. This is the starting point of a brand new moon cycle. So the intentions that we plant here, we're gaining clarity. That's what a new moon is for, to gain clarity about what we are going to do and create with the next 4 weeks. On top of that, these are seeds that we are sowing for the long term. So to become clearer and clearer and clearer with every new energy, and to understand how those things balance out, is really important. So follow along every week. Come back and revisit this for the first quarter moon, for the full moon, and for the last quarter moon. That way you have this practice, this consistent ritual and fluidity with some clarity to it, with some real answers. So as we're sitting down and maybe we're journaling or we're painting, right? We're in this creative space and we're unlocking all of this really deep meditative wisdom from inside of our cores. We're remembering things that we have forgotten here on this earth plane. Our souls have forgotten, right? About who we are and how loved we are. And as we're unlocking that, sometimes we don't exactly know what it means and what to do with it. So bit by bit, you can take your own oracle cards, or whatever you have. Maybe you have a set of tarot cards, anything that you have at home that you think that you could unlock, messages with, any set like that. That's what you do. You bring this together and you do that for yourself, because this is the intention that we are sowing in. And if we get clear now at the new moon, everything else unfolds with ease for the rest of the month. And even when things are not unfolding with ease, we are more equipped. We feel more confident in handling those things because we are paying attention to each of the intuitive messages that we are receiving as we're moving through this energy. So let's clarify. We are finding balance. And now the intention and focus of this new moon phase. Heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. You know, every month these messages are fluid, and I can almost guarantee you that throughout this entire month, we're going to see this softness and this sweetness arising that we are meant to care for and nurture ourselves on a whole new level. And Libra season is what's encouraging that. So just be with it, sit with it, hold these messages and see what happens to you. Listening. If you want to be heard, learn to listen. So love and let yourself be loved, but also if you want to be heard, learn to listen. How can we love others at the same level that we choose to be loved? And that's kind of like, because every relationship in our lives is a mirror. So as we are opening up and unlocking things within us, what we're feeling triggered by in the world is a mirror to something that upsets our soul, something that we need to look at, seek clarity on, okay? So to be loved, the way that we want to be loved, we have to learn to love in that manner, and that takes listening. Now we are on to satisfying choices. The hunter, track down your fears and desires. Peace. In stillness, the answer will be revealed. So track down your fears and desires, but in stillness. What does that mean? It's what we were just talking about. You can sit in this meditative, creative stillness space and unlock those inner desires, that satisfaction, those things that you forgot about. It's that the box in the attic that you have to go in and dust off, and you forget that it's there. It's those dreams and those goals and those interests that we've tucked away because they weren't practical. They didn't make sense. At some point, you are allowed to just wake up and choose to do new things. I would suggest that with your own higher wisdom, that you aren't doing things again and again and again to disrupt your life completely and that of others. When you make huge disrupting choices, those are things that take time to sit with, okay? And I'm not saying you're not ready to. I'm not saying I'm not ready to. What I am saying is there's a difference between trying new things and like jumping off the plank, okay? So learning to listen to ourselves at a more subtle level before we get to this place of a total breakdown where everything in our life seems to be disintegrating around us. That's not a fun place to be. But if we learn to listen to ourselves and get out of our head with those interests, those goals, those dreams, if we let those back into our lives, into our bodies, and start playing with them, we're able to create things from a different place, okay? We're able to hear ourselves again. We're learning to listen. So if we want to be loved, we want to love others, we have to love ourselves in that same way. And so we're not only learning to listen to them, we're learning to listen to ourselves as well. And it's in the stillness that we find it. Lessons of self-awareness. Doesn't that sound super satisfying? I just wanted to mention that. Lessons of self-awareness. Surround yourself with protective energy. Shine. You are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. The inner trust that we need to have in order to step out in boldness. So the lesson is, like, when we are protected by walls, right? Even if we are shining, sparkling, no one can see it. Does it matter if anyone sees it? That's up to you. But I think the veils, or the, like, where we choose to hide, where, maybe not even choose, where our soul, those little places of shame, the little rooms we lock away in our minds and our hearts, where those parts of us are hiding, these bright parts, they want to burst out, they want to burst through. Are they surrounded by the type of protective energy that has become a cage, a prison? Because now is the time where we are tracking down our fears and desires. It's this new confidence that we're carrying in our souls, that we are now trusting that we are safe, right? That there's nothing inside me, wrong with me, that's going to hurt me. So if I ever need to protect myself from anything, it's something out there. And even though I recognize that, walking around the world with terror in my heart doesn't give me any energy back. So it's a sense of confidence within our core, our gut, that we trust that we are safe. We trust that there's nothing wrong, that we can handle whatever life throws at us. And then we can step out in the world into this bold, or in the bold way that we desire. In a bolder way. Not to say that things have to be public. We make everything public now, don't we? It's a very particular experience, because we have to balance this with the stillness, okay? The sparkling within the stillness. And let that speak for itself. Advice and resources. Dream and journey. Safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. So building again on this energy right here, we keep kind of flowing through, we're expanding ourselves, we're dreaming bigger, we're looking at things more, we're stepping out of our comfort zone and journeying away from home. But we trust our foundation that we set before we left, okay? That's the key. Trusting in the foundation that we set at home before we left. So we're not leaving a mess for ourselves. We're not running away from some sort of wreckage. We get our house in order, right? Our spirit in order, whatever that is, our mind, our body in order. And what I mean by that is what feels right, what feels peaceful, okay? Where do you feel safe? Safe, really safe, not afraid and locked in, okay, behind walls, not terrified and in a cage because of it. We are finding this confidence that we are able to protect ourselves, that no matter what happens to us, that we use our intuition and we are safe out. Not that everyone is going to treat us with kindness, that we can trust everybody. We trust ourselves at our core. We love ourselves so much that we're not afraid of the scary stories that everybody else tells. We use our intuition and we balance out the fear, the horror stories, with our intuitive sense of keeping safe and protecting ourselves. Okay, we have to learn to trust ourselves as full-grown human beings. And my goal as a parent is to raise people who feel confident stepping out into the world and pursuing what matters to them, pursuing what lights them up, but with a sense of integrity and clarity, right? And this foundation, so they're not rushing into things. But it's not my journey at the same time. So I can instill as much as I can. And the only way I can do that is by modeling it. The only way I can do that is by learning it for myself and then showing it, not by preaching it at my children. I have to live it, take the steps myself, and then see what they do along their journey. Hopefully, I have modeled the steps in a way that my kids, at least when they make mistakes, feel confident in turning around and apologizing and starting over. And they're that confident in themselves that they can take steps, leaps and bounds, as long as it aligns with their own soul. And that's what we are here to do. That's what that safety and confidence together means. How do we journey outward and keep safe? Well, we can never truly be safe in this body, in the world, but we have to learn to trust ourselves, or else we lock ourselves in a cage. On to action steps. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit. It's super interesting to me how in order to understand this deep sense of love and balance that we are unlocking right now with this new moon, what's happening as we unlock this deep sense of love and balance within ourselves is that we are learning to trust in that we are protected from within. Okay, my soul, my intuition. You've heard of a mother's intuition, right? And there's this wisdom grandmothers passed down, right? And it's a different type. It's that type where you know what it sounds like when your baby cries, right? Those things that you've learned from experience that you otherwise, you can read in books, but you never understand until you're moving through it. That's what we're talking about, okay? We've been hurt. We have been attacked. There are things, yes, of course there are things to be afraid of. Of course there are. But what kind of life does that leave? What kind of life does that leave if we are too afraid to take any steps, any journeys out into the world? What happens then? What happens to us? All right, now here is our very final message. This is what ties it all together for this new moon phase. Let's pull this bonus message all together. Here we go. Our final message for the new moon and Libra phase: you are not alone. Angels and Ancestors deck I chose specifically for know you are loved, because that comes from a different place. It comes from a spirit place. Angels and Ancestors are that's the only way that you can learn to trust it, is to feel it in your gut. Okay? And by knowing that you are surrounded by love at all times, by divine, universal love. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at the bigger picture. Let's switch this one. Dreams. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine. Conscious focus. What I focus on, I attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy and see as more of those things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. And that's that divine sense of trust, that divine sense of love, balance, and protection. It's a confidence in your own intuition. Trust yourself. All the things work best in conjunction with all the things. Go inward. Do not be afraid of any parts of you. Thank you so much for being here. Join me next week for the first quarter moon in a brand new self-care theme. Unleash your kindest self. Would you give this video a like before you leave? Let's take a moment to remember our intentions for the month. To settle in with our journal, cards, altar cloth, or really just get ready to receive this message. Welcome to the first quarter moon. Unleash your kindest self. Remember, this month we have this sweetness that is kind of pervading everything that we do. It's kind of softening our experience and learning to just be a little gentler with ourselves. So as we move into the first quarter moon self-care, our overall theme for this moon phase: am I apologizing for my truth? The world is abundant when you choose to see it that way. Unleash your kindest self. So what is it? I think that there is this slight difference, okay? And it looks the same kind of on the outside, but it kind of depends on who's benefiting from it. When we think that kindness is people pleasing, okay, when we confuse those two things, we have to be kind to ourselves first and foremost. In order to even have like a kind spirit, if we're cruel to ourselves all the time, the kindness that we project is more out of insecurity or guilt, because generally we're in a lacking place. So we are not being filled up, and in order to feel the best that we can in that situation, we just give and give and give and give and give, but rarely are we sewed back into at that point. And the point that I want to get to here is, how do you distinguish what the difference is between being kind and giving and gracious, generous, whatever, helpful, whatever it is out in the world, versus apologizing for something, like noticing the insecurity or guilt to like a people-pleasing mentality? And it really is like, why? Like, if you feel like you should be sorry for disappointing someone, something, if you feel like you're over committing and you feel bad, there's things that you just have to recognize, guilt, or insecurity, even very slightly in your core, in your gut, because it blocks that sense of abundance, right, in the world. Just that sense of peace, stillness, sweetness, to go through our days with a sense of sweetness in our soul is a gift most people do not possess in this day and age, at least not all the time. I certainly don't, not all the time. But as I become more confident in myself, not necessarily like in what I'm doing, but in that I am safe, confident in that I am safe, secure, stable. As I grow confidently in that sense, I stop apologizing for disappointing other people or not doing what they want me to do. And you just grow, like it changes. The insecurity has to shift into something new. And if it remains insecurity, then we have to examine why. Why are we giving from a place that's not filling us back up? So here we go. So for the first quarter moon, intention and focus. Abundance again. Whoa. Okay. All right. That's incredible. I don't know what's happening, but there has to be something. Okay. Nothing. I'm just gonna turn your fear of change into excitement for change. Passion. Okay. There has to be something that's at our core, at our gut, something we're getting excited about, and maybe we feel a little guilty for. Something we've never felt. Maybe, and you know what? Guilt might not be the right word. I think it has to do with, I'm not going to get this right, but it's that our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And receiving the things, actually getting the things that we want, finding them, coming across them, it seems really exciting at first until we think that we are undeserving. Wait, hold on. I'm undeserving of that, actually. I'm not ready for that yet because I'm not this way. The only way to step into our readiness is inside of experience, okay? Not in experience, within experience. So as we take a step, each step, we grow in confidence, we grow in experience, we grow along our journey. Sometimes our experiences are ones that break us down. And we have to find ways to sense our own spirit within this existence, that our life is satisfying us. That's kind, okay? Choosing joy for yourself, whatever that looks like to you, true, like that, your cup is overflowing joy. That is when you can give your kindest self back into the world. That's the type of abundance we're talking about in our soul. Satisfying choices, regeneration. This is my favorite crystal, by the way, black tourmaline, one of my very first. Compassion. Resolve your conflicts with compassion. Right into that same exact thing that we were talking about. There's a softness, a sweetness to what we're doing. So we are dealing with our lives. Things are still coming up. We still have to deal with the same sorts of issues, and things don't always go our way. It's just the way that it is. Everybody else wants things to go their way too. So oftentimes people are considering only themselves. They're not considering you or me. Oftentimes I'm not considering you. You're not considering me, okay? Not until attention is called to it. Not until we're paying attention. And if we are distracted with whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say trash, but like really, like there's a lot of things that we run through our minds on a daily basis that are just purely not true. About ourselves, about the world, about other people. We distract ourselves constantly, and it just, what it distracts us from is this confident, intuitive understanding of who we are and what we're doing and why, and that it's okay. No matter what it is that we're doing, it's okay. Our soul's journey is okay. That we can choose to look at the shame that we have held within. We all have it, and love it. You know, the ugliest parts of ourselves that we are afraid to look at, that we think there's something wrong with us, we can love those. And that begins to transform us from a whole different place. And in what we bring into the world is a whole different, vibration level. It really is. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different energy. Lessons of self-awareness, expansion. Okay, we're opening up, but we've already been talking about that. We know that we're opening up. It's just that we were scared before. For the new moon, when we were setting intentions and bringing clarity into this, we had a lot of talk about protecting ourselves. And it has to do with knowing we are safe at a core level, so that way we can open up. When we are not in safe circumstances, and so this is very valid when we are in, like, say, just homes, environments, but it doesn't matter what it is, that we don't feel comfortable in, that we can't be our full selves in. At least, our character. Not that we can say anything we want all the time. But when we don't feel safe in an environment, it really shuts us down, and it does a lot of damage. Okay, it does a lot of damage to be in those environments for a prolonged period of time and not realizing that we are kind of locked in to a box, or we're boxed in, I guess. We're locked, we're walled in, we're in a cage, where we don't realize that because we don't journey outward, we don't see anything else. And we look out in the world and we go, that's terrifying out there. That's horrifying. So we don't step out beyond our front door. And I'm not saying that nobody ever does. I'm saying we go through periods of life where we kind of, get kind of trapped in certain mindsets, and we get stuck for a while, stagnant. and we have to allow ourselves to move beyond that. The only one who can let ourselves expand is ourselves, and there should be absolutely no thought that we should be afraid of, because if the truth is the truth, then we will always come back to the truth, right? So everybody else will as well, right? There's nothing to be afraid of. The truth will always come back to the truth. So if that's real, and I dig all the way into my soul, I will find the truth there, correct? The light is at the center of me because it mirrors the light of God, right? You notice I use a lot of different words because that's how I feel. I don't sit with just labels just as one word. I love to use language that expands our understanding, that connects, because this is the same for all of us. It's intuition, magic, miracles, what we believe in, faith, all of this is the same for all of us. It's just a different perspective. It's a different picture. It's a different way of moving through it, handling it. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. We're expanding, shining. We are safe now. Okay, we've always been safe. Not to say that things have not come in and harmed us, but our spirit, who we are, that's never been a threat to anything, to us, okay? That's never been the problem. And I think that's where we're led astray oftentimes, is we're told there's something wrong with us. Therefore, we don't go in and find who we really are, to find our confidence, our courage, and to change the things that don't feel right. Sometimes we are told, like, no, it's the way it is, and there's something wrong with you if you don't agree with it. Well, I disagree with that. So come at me about it. Advice and resources. I had to look this up. Still don't know how to say it. But it translates to good spirit or flourishing, okay? So we're talking about advice and resources, focusing on flourishing. Again, abundance, passion, expansion, fertility, compassion. These are deep. These are deep. Well, you're creating something. I am creating something. Do we want it to be barren? Do we want it to be dry and lifeless? No, we want it to be infused with this beautiful spirit, right? So that's what we're creating, and we have to understand that everything we build, everything we plant, comes from the spirit that we create with it. So bring that for whatever we want to fertilize, that is what we need to bring into the creation of it now before it actually manifests, okay? To enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. Exactly. To plant the seed of joy, to plant the seed of passion. I think this is why it's such an important distinction here to the core of us, to make sure that we're not feeling like we're doing something wrong for stepping in the direction our soul is calling us. And that's what it is. And when we do have conflicts, when people do disagree with us or criticize us, to look at it in a perspective like we don't have to come at them the same way they're coming at us. They don't understand. They don't know me like that. And that's what it is, right? They don't know me like that. Only I know me like that. And I look at me on that deep soul level, then who can tell me different? And the same for you. But be honest with yourself. Are you looking deeper and deeper and deeper? Are you continuing to go deeper within so you can expand further without, and that you can bring, fertilize the spirit of what you want, which is this flourishing. You want a flourishing spirit that doesn't come from fear, control, hatred, rage, and I'm not saying that that's what you're building something on or what I am, but we have to notice even the subtle hints of bitterness, of resentment that we hold. I have it. Don't tell me you don't. It's there, and it might be in places that don't matter in certain, every single day, but if it's there, it's causing rot to what we're planting. It is, slowly, quietly, but it is a disease. that we have to eradicate. That's what shame does. It eats away at us. And that is what we're here, why we spend this time with ourselves to feel what we feel and stop apologizing for it. Action steps. Initiation. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path. This is your initiation. Make plans and focus. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit. We are finding the balance within so we can create a balance on the external. Okay? We are finding what is within our core. So that means we have to be shaken. Okay, we have to shake loose all that is stopping us, is causing us to doubt ourselves or play small, but with thoughtfulness, with kindness, because we respect ourselves, we respect other people. It's not that our decisions don't ever hurt anybody, but it's the way that we communicate our choices, our needs, our decisions is very important. And the way that we do those things and the manner that we project that out into the world says a lot about how we feel about ourselves. Now, our final message, what ties it all together for the first quarter moon? Let's go. Intention. Love it so much. Don't let your past hold you back. That's when we're in this cage for a while. Sometimes we all endure something within our lives that causes us to doubt ourselves or some sort of something. It doesn't matter. It causes us to like think that maybe we're not doing the right thing. It could be something someone says. It could be a chemical imbalance. But there are things that hold us into the stagnant place, and we are placing an intention this month with a very soft hand, okay, that we are moving beyond that. We are expanding beyond what has been holding us back. Turn your worrier into a warrior. Fearlessness. When we know that we are loved, that we are safe, we are not alone. There's a different type of confidence and courage. It's like a parent who knows their child is in danger. It's a whole different thing. Instinct. You step into your power then and there. New adventures. Today I open myself up to new adventures. I go out and do something that I have been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I trust my intuition and I follow my desires. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you haven't yet, would you like this video before you leave? And one little feature I want to show you really quick is when you buy this altar cloth for your own altar and your own practice, you can tune in to the current month's self-care videos just like this by scanning the QR code here in the corner. So that makes it easy for when you're laying your cards out. If you want to do it along with me and you want more depth to your message, you can come right here and check out the self-care message that you need right now. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week for the full moon. Goodbye. Would you give this video a like before you leave? Let's take a moment to remember our intentions for the month. To settle in with our journal, cards, altar cloth, or really just get ready to receive this message. Welcome to the full moon in Aries self-care theme, Cool Your Emotions. Again, we're bringing just kind of a softness to this. We're not putting a halt to anything. We're not doing anything that would be jarring. It's just a soft, kind of sweet shift into how we feel about our emotions, rather than going at people or blaming other people or thinking there's something shameful or wrong about our emotions. We're gonna start to allow ourselves to just feel and understand that that's normal. When was the last time I couldn't stop laughing or smiling? So how do we cool our emotions? Have you ever been like arguing with someone and then burst into laughter? Now, it's not super often, but isn't that like kind of the best type of relationship to have? Because you can express yourself in that raw sense, but then you realize it's not that serious. Or if it is serious, that it can be handled and will be handled in a different way, communicating in a different way, and it can't be resolved in that raw angry or raw sad or whatever state when you're heightened. We understand that we have to kind of come back down to earth, and then we can resolve conflicts with compassion. Express your true self. The world needs you. So we're taking this this hot-headedness. This is something I understand very, very intimately. Hot-headedness, but then also kind of like, it looks a little like madness from the outside, probably, because quickly I can shift from being upset to laughing hysterically. It looks a little villainish. It's not, I swear. Now, after we unlocked this moon phase and the theme, we're going to go on to our intention and focus. Bravery and creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Flames of destruction. Raw, destructive emotion. Aries, especially, we're speaking hot-headedness. This energy has a sort of impulsivity to it. So the flames of destruction, we're realizing something, we're growing from this, where it's like, you know that you embarrass yourself and then you actually learn your lesson from it? Have you ever done that? Where you do something really, really obnoxious in public, maybe you were drinking too much, and you just honestly never want to feel that out of control, out of your body again. There's nothing wrong with making embarrassing mistakes. We all do it. But we're stepping into those flames of destruction of our raw emotion to learn a lesson. We're burning something away. And when we get through it, we're going to realize it's not as serious as it feels like it is. You know, like anger and rage feels really serious. It almost feels like something being taken from me. You know, what triggers that is so intense and powerful. But laughter or music or something, again, like a hug, those are the sorts of things that can take us to back down to earth, into like a human place. Okay, so we can express ourselves at a different level. Satisfying choices, completion, and meditation. To see more clearly, close your eyes. So when we are feeling so raw, when we are feeling so hurt, scared, whatever it is that makes us act out in different ways, we try to seek comfort, but we recognize at a certain point, after doing something over and over again, we recognize that doesn't make us feel better. And it's up to us to realize what those things are and to turn our focus to interests that make us feel more fulfilled on the other side. We don't want everything that we do to be like a numb memory that we're trying to forget. Or do we want to be looking forward to always be looking forward to numbing our existence? Sometimes life is hard, and it really is, but we want to build self-care into our lives so we are not looking to numb every Friday. We're not looking to numb when we have free time. We're looking to expand, to play, to laugh, to smile, to feel. That's where life is. And that's the goal. Lessons of self-awareness, beginnings. So we have a completion of one thing, okay, and a start of something new. Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. How many times have I said that word sweet? Because that's what I'm feeling across this month. Everything that's happening is gentler. And it might not be coming at you gentler, but it's learning to enjoy the smolder after, you know, the inferno. And I think that that's what we're looking at. We're kind of waiting for the destructive energy to die down, and we're gonna stop feeding it, okay? And we're waiting for it to soften, so that way we can enjoy the warmth. Don't you love my metaphors? That's why you're here. It's probably also why you're not here if you're not. I find myself funny. Advice and resources. Groundedness. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. That sense of safety, protective energy that we're talking about from before, from our foundation. That's what we're talking about. It's the connection to the root of who we are. We feel anchored into that, okay? Groundedness. We feel at home there. That's, I think, the best way to put it. When we sink our feet into that place, okay? That's, you know what I'm talking about. I just freaking cannot let up when a metaphor comes. I get all poetic and whimsical. Might be obnoxious. But that is what happens. Like, we're planting this thing. Okay, and in order for it to last a lifetime, when you plant the seed, the first thing that happens is the root. Okay, it roots. It begins to be nourished, and before it pops above the soil and it starts to show its growth, it starts to flower and blossom and do all these beautiful things, give us food and the sweet scent in the air. I had to come back around to it. You probably don't remember it, but I sure as hell do. Anyway, as we're moving through, we want to make sure our roots are, again, we've talked about this earlier, they're not, they don't have bitterness or resentment or anything that unresolved. We're never going to be perfect. We're going to have stuff going on with us all the time that we don't even realize, but things that we're avoiding on purpose, that's not a good look. Okay, avoiding ourselves on purpose is not the way that we want to be seen. That's not the way that we want to go. We have to look inward. It's the only way that we can make changes for ourselves, for the next generations, whether that is our own children or that is the children that we meet, out in the world, our family members, and we are modeling something different, something new, something that is bold and brave. We are not cowering down and just settling and falling into the roles assigned, okay? You, me, more probably you than me, I don't know, it depends on who you are, right? We are probably built to grow. Do you think? We are built, it feels good to grow and expand. Yes, it's uncomfortable. It's a workout. It's an exercise. We are exercising not just our minds. This is taking mind, body, and spirit and exercising it as one. It is braiding all these parts of ourselves together, and it is powerful. It is where your power is. You take wisdom from every piece of your life. Okay? The good, the bad, the ugly. You take all the wisdom and you apply it to the way that you carry your life forward, because that is where your power is. You stop fighting other people on their choices, okay? And you start taking your own action steps towards what you find most satisfying. That is what we are doing here. Taking a satisfying step. We are taking a clear and satisfying step. What unfolds for you based on this, I have no idea. But what unfolds for me for this, I have no idea. Okay? But we have a little bit of direction, clarity, messages that we can tap into and go, oh, because I was doubting myself. I thought I was losing it, and I'm not. This is the energy. I feel this. I feel it too. Our action steps. Mystery. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it is the first step towards success. So we are stepping into something brand new. It is a mystery. But what we have to trust is that the signs is the initiation, okay? We are safe. In this season of balance, okay? That's what the Libra season energy brings. In this season of balance, we have gotten again and again and again that we are attaining balance from every aspect of our lives, that we have nothing to be afraid of, that everything we learn on the outside is beneficial, everything we learn inside of us is beneficial, and all we have to do is trust our own intuition to tap into what is real, what we want, what is fair, what is kind, okay? It's not about anything but us. So when we have to tap into that stuff, we have to feel like, why am I doing this? Why? Not just what am I doing? Why am I doing these things? Why am I spending time with these people? Why am I in this environment? Why do I choose to stay there? I might have valid reasons, but does it mean it's permanent? Does it mean it's right? I don't know. Timing is everything. So don't make rash decisions. Don't make impulsive decisions. Express yourself when you are back down to earth. Okay, grounded. Ooh, grounded. We are letting ourselves slowly, softly sink back down to earth. And in that process, as we are floating back down, okay, like when you get real heightened, and you finally at the top of it, you finally are able to catch yourself, and you're like, holy shit, how did I get here? You're crying or screaming or something, you're sweating, you're red, and whatever it is, right? You slammed the door, who knows? But at some point, that emotion runs itself out, and then what? And then where are we? What are we doing then? What happens at that point? That's where we have to take our lesson. We have to take our hit and learn. And it's a humility. It's just being humble. It's just realizing we all make mistakes, and it's okay. And this time it was my mistake, and I'm gonna have to take responsibility for it. And the only right thing to do is take responsibility for myself. It's not based on what someone else says I need to do to take responsibility for myself. It is based on what I choose to do to take responsibility for myself, what feels right to me. And that's the same sort of intuition and gut feeling that you should be trusting within yourself. Now we are on to our final message. What ties it all together? movement. So we are shifting, we are moving, we are shifting directions. Maybe not, it may be quick, but it's well planned. This is not something that just popped into your head today. This is something that a longing. This is a shift based on a longing that you've had in your soul, that I've had in my soul all our lives. Maybe we didn't know what it was exactly or what to do with it exactly, but that is what is coming clear to us now. Hold your vision for the clarity. It is coming, and it comes again in this moment of laughter and joy. It comes in those moments. So find as many as you can. Go out and capture those moments of joy. Intuition is the little tug that pulls you towards your light. Oh, I almost don't even want to say anything else because I don't want to ruin it because it's so beautiful. Here's our final message. Thank you so much for being here for the full moon. Again, please go and get yourself one of these altar cloths. You can scan up here this little barcode to tune in to the self-care messages of the week or the month. And this is the perfect thing that you can just roll out if you don't feel experienced with your own readings, but you want to make this a practice in your life. You can have this altar cloth that makes it easy for you to just sit down, sink in, and make this almost a meditative practice. And if you want more guidance or help or depth with your experience, you scan the QR code and you come here and you visit me. So again, thank you so much for being here. Our final message, expressing love. Today I notice the things I appreciate about the people in my life. I take a moment to send them love and to wish them well. My love is infinite, and it feels great to express it. Maybe a smile, right? A smile might be just that expression of love, because that brings us all the way back around to expressing our true self. The world needs us, and the world not only needs us, needs you, needs me, but it needs us at our best. And at our best is with a spirit of joy, confidence, and satisfaction. We know and we trust that what we are doing in the world is what we are meant to do. It doesn't have to make us money. It just has to satisfy our soul. Would you go ahead and like this video before you leave if you have not yet? I appreciate you, and I will see you next week for our final message of the month, last quarter moon. Would you give this video a like before you leave? Let's take a moment to remember our intentions for the month. To settle in with our journal, cards, altar cloth, or really just get ready to receive this message. Welcome to the last quarter moon in Leo self-care theme, Lighten Up. This is the last phase of the moon cycle, and we're coming off of that heightened energy, and things are starting to kind of soften and wind back down for us. And so we're just gonna bring kind of a really light-hearted energy through this final week of the moon cycle. And because we've been working on that, we've been working on kind of like deep self-love and feeling safe on the inside. And now we're starting to open up without having to work so hard to feel, to be brave and confident. We're starting just to feel it in our gut. We've been practicing it for a while, so we get to enjoy it. And that's the best part. All right, so our theme for this moon phase, how can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? follow your instincts, they lead to the truth, your destiny. This entire month started off on this idea of being, you know, kind to ourselves and loving ourselves, understanding that we can trust ourselves and know that what feels right to us is right for us, because we've been sitting with these hopes and dreams and playing around with all these ideas our entire lives. No one knows us better than we do. So the kindest thing that we can do is trust ourselves. The kindest thing that we can do is respect ourselves and to take a step, even if it turns out to be a mistake. Okay, I don't know what that could possibly be, but to take a step in the direction of what feels satisfying, something new, a new journey. There's an end and a beginning starting here. And it's something that we're planting, and we are creating it from a different place. We are creating it from an energy of satisfaction, from an energy of security, from an energy of love, and we're expressing that from an inner trust. So as we are creating new things, they feel sweeter, and that's what this whole month was teaching us. So intention and focus. I find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. All month long, working on digging in to the parts of us that we struggle to look at, and now we get to softly enjoy it. Recognize the divine in the mirror. Deeper meaning amid the discomfort, because those are those embarrassing maybe or growth moments, the moments that we need. We need those reality check moments where we say, I need to shift directions. And that's what that is. We feel discomfort in the moments where we're about to shift directions, where our lives are coming to this place where, what we spoke about at the beginning of the month, that it is just as terrifying to receive what we really want as it is to feel like, well, be afraid we'll never have it. Often we don't feel that we are ready. We feel very inadequate to receive the things that we truly want. So we sabotage those things, we numb, and we're not prepared at a deeper level when those things arrive. And that is, this is a new thing that we're doing. Okay, we're preparing ourselves. We're creating something from an inner sense of love and satisfaction for ourselves and respect, so that way it can be a satisfying journey, no matter what comes of it. Satisfying choices. I am the dreamer of my dream. So realizing the connection, Father Divine and Mother Earth make love in your heart. The dream is a collective, it's a collective feeling. Okay, this is this is where I'm going with it. It's like it's contagious, but it in that way, with Leo, this Leo energy, lighten up. Leo is like this shining, sparkling energy, very bold, and to shine, in order to step into that and realize that there is this light, that you are the light. It lights up these beacons for others. Okay, so as you step into your own connection with what is right for you in your heart, you create this space and this permission almost for other people to step into what feels right and passionate and kind and loving to them, that they can follow their destiny and their truth. And that's why I'm here doing this. just a beacon, right? Maybe you find a little bit of solace here. Maybe you find understanding. Maybe you find something else. I don't know what it could be. Let me know. On to lessons of self-awareness. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. I love this so much because we've been working on like this sense of confidence, but we knowing that we're shifting, that we're expanding, that we're changing, that there's an end and a beginning, and understanding that like that's what life is. It's a cycle of creation and destruction, but it's good to let some things go because they begin to weigh us down. So as we feel that we are being blocked from what we want, it's not necessarily the worst thing. Even if it's just the timing of the thing isn't quite right, even if it's just not ripe yet, it's still something that the detour is this soul journey. It's the deeper meaning and realizing that the dream is a collective dream. And we're, again, lighting up these beacons along the way so everyone can see their way home. It might not be the direction that we planned to go or that we ever thought we would. And how could we ever imagine ourselves on this journey at this place if we hadn't experienced it? Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. That's part of the sweetness, the softness, okay? When we're hardened on the outside, we can't feel our satisfaction the same way. We become hardened, we become numb, or we're purposefully hardening, putting up walls or numbing things that we don't want to deal with, avoiding. And the more we do that, the thicker the walls get, the more the divide or the separation gets between who we are and what we want, or who we are, like truly, who we believe we are, who we know we are, and what we project out into the world. There's all these different ways to look at it, but ultimately, as we grow more confident and that courage breaks the walls down. Courage and knowing at a deep place how safe we are. It unlocks the ability to love ourselves, to let other people love us, to let them into our lives that we cannot have when we are guarding ourselves. So it's about the method to which we are guarding ourselves. How can we be a little more kind to ourselves and offer grace, but just grace to everything around us, every step we take. If we are rigid and we are rigid and we are afraid, you can feel it. You can feel it in your body. Tighten up. Things feel heavy. You feel exhausted. You know what I'm talking about. There is something, you can tell that you're being weighed down, closed off. You can feel it. You can feel it if you access it. You can feel it if you want to, but you can also numb it. We can numb it. Advice and resources. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. The only illusion is separation. The only illusion is separation. The walls, okay? The walls are not real. We build them up. What are we building? What are we planting? What are we creating? Do we want other people to be involved in it? Do we want to let other people in? I mean, it's a real question. Do we want to be able to connect with other people within this? That's up to us. The vulnerability, we have to open ourselves up. Vulnerability is required. We have to break open. Breaking the shell is not fun. Breaking is not fun. Breaking down is not fun. Not in those particular moments, but in order to receive the support and the connection of other people, to have that type of community, understanding, true kindness externally being given back, it is very much required that we break our own walls down. People can come in and show us things, and they can reflect back to us, and we can react by building the walls up higher if we want to. But ultimately, no one else can do it for us. They can help us. They can facilitate, they can carry some of that load, but they can't make the choices. And opening up with the possibility of getting hurt. It's always the possibility of getting hurt. So that's why it's so scary. Action steps. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. The separation. The only thing that's holding us apart from love are those feelings, the doubt, the insecurity, the guilt. Those different feelings, they block us from the truth. They make us think that there's something wrong with us. Did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Is there something wrong with me because that person didn't understand or they don't agree? It's easy to take it super personal. It's really hard not to take it personal a lot of times, especially when you think that your connection is different than it turns out to be. So it's just important, especially letting go is not giving up. It is the first step towards stepping into the mystery. Okay, expressing the love. We have to trust ourselves and step. Like, don't let the obstacles shift us, yes, but don't let them disrupt the vision. Okay, what we're doing, the intention, the feeling of it, why we're here, what is the satisfaction, what do we really want ultimately? Okay, we're just learning from every step we take. It's a learning experience. Do I want to take one more, or do I want to take a step back? Do I want to turn? Every step is just literally a journey. Okay, think of every decision you make as a journey, and stop being so hard on your damn self over it. Speak from your heart. It is the only thing worth listening to. Sorry, I'm pounding. I don't know what that sounds like in the camera. So we're breaking down walls between us and how we connect to other people, to the world. What we can give is very, very, very dependent on how full we are. So yes, we can run out and be productive. Okay, we can look busy, and we can do all kinds of incredible things, to be quite honest. But what does it feel like to you and your spirit? What does your gut feel like? How do you feel? Are you satisfied? I can't help you figure that out until you want to sit with it. You want to sit with me. Let's sit down together, right? And we're not figuring anything out. We're just deciding that we can trust ourselves at a level so much deeper than we ever imagined. And that's all we're doing. We are trusting ourselves because we know we're safe. We know we're loved. We know that we are being guided in the right direction, even if it seems like a mistake, okay? But we grow, and that the dark places are not places that we need to be afraid of. They're places where we bring ourselves. We become the beacon. and we remind other people that the world is not just dark, okay? It may seem that way, there may be a lot going on, but here I am and I'm calling out to you. And even if you can't see me yet, you know, you feel me. I'm sending my love to you. You are surrounded by it, I'm surrounded by it. We are made of it, created of it. It's within us, we breathe it, right? We hold it, we give it, we receive it. And whatever we choose to do with it, we feel the energy of people as we move through this world. And whatever you choose to project out, I hope that it is satisfying to your soul. And if it's not, then I hope that you have the audacity to look at yourself and say, I want my best life, whatever that means to me. I'm gonna take it. That's up to me. What ties it all together? I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. Calling on the light with my prayers. Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry. The beacon. I witness the darkness and call on the light. The light from within is the beacon, the trust from within, the showing up and saying, like, I'm here, even if no one else has. It's okay to do something new. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to be different than everybody else. It's okay to love yourself ridiculously because of it and in spite of it, and it's what you were born to do. So whatever direction that you take, whatever detour you go on, be the beacon along the way. Carry the torch. Pass the torch along. Okay, and continue to light up the world with your energy, regardless of what anyone else does. Confidence is your key to success. Double Leo energy. Oh, God, confidence. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. You can't make this up. We had abundance on top of abundance, confidence on top of confidence. Our final message for this energy of the month. To heal the parts of me that feel hurt, I must feel every emotion. It has to come up to come out. I don't try to push my feelings away. I sit with them and feel them as I release them. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to talk to someone one-on-one who will ask you questions and help you sit with yourself, feel into your feelings, get into your body, and start to access that deeper intuition that maybe you can't tell that if it's intuition or a silly idea. Maybe you are doubting yourself on those levels. And I am here to talk to you about how to change and shift the way that you move through the world. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week for the new moon, a brand new self-care theme, and a brand new energy of the month. Would you give this video a like before you leave? As you see here, this is my altar cloth, the one that I designed that I keep talking about. The cards actually fit right on the little spots. It's laid out here. So if you don't know what you're doing with your deck of cards, you can just roll this out and use it right in front of you. This is like an introduction to doing your own oracle reading. So that's why it's fun. Follow along at home. Pick yours up in my magic self-care shop.